Tonight, Tropical Storm Nicholas on the move with potentially life-threatening floods. Nicholas slamming the Gulf Coast after making landfall in Texas as a Category 1 hurricane, packing 90.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. As a hurricane, it was short-lived, but now Tropical Storm Nicholas is still delivering a dangerous punch along the Gulf Coast tonight. Water and lots of it. 5 million people living under flash flood alerts, rain amounts as high as 20 inches possible as the storm makes a brutally slow crawl across parts of Texas and Louisiana after its landfall not far from Houston early today with 75-mile-an-hour sustained winds. In this very active tropical season, Nicholas, the 14th named storm, the 8th to make a U.S. landfall, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses. Morgan Chesky is in the storm zone. The latest storm is going into a dangerous slow motion. It will be around for days with millions at risk of severe flooding. Al Roker is here. Al, this one wants to stick around.
It sure does, Lester, and we do not want it. Right now, it's about 50 miles east of Houston, Texas, 40-mile-per-hour winds. This thing over the next several days with isolated amounts, Lester, of 20 inches, and that's going to lead to flash flooding.
All right, Al Roker, thank you, sir. Now to COVID and the new surge in the number of infected children and the growing battle over vaccine mandates. One New York hospital halting maternity care after dozens of workers quit rather than get the shots. Here's Kristen Dahlgren. Breaking tonight, stunning revelations in a new book that America's top military officer was so concerned former President Trump might spark a war with China in his final months in office, he took extraordinary actions. Here's Chief Washington correspondent Andrea Mitchell.
Tonight, former President Trump told Newsmax for Milley to say he was going to attack China is the most ridiculous thing he's ever heard. General Milley is not commenting, but people familiar tell NBC News a number of cabinet officials agreed to keep close watch on the president's national security decisions at that time. Lester.
Andrea Mitchell in our Washington newsroom, thank you. High political drama and high stakes tonight in California where people are still voting on whether to recall Governor Gavin Newsom. Jacob Soboroff is there for us tonight. Seconds, a shocking twist in the assassination of Haiti's president. The man prosecutors now want indicted. And the newest iPhone rolled out amid security warnings about Apple devices. There are new twists tonight of the killing of Haiti's president back in July. U.S. Secretary of State Tony Blinken grilled for a second day on Capitol Hill over President Biden's handling of Afghanistan, and Blinken acknowledging at least 100 Americans are still trapped there. Our Richard Engel is back inside the country where the Taliban is rolling back women's rights. Conversation with that young woman. Richard, thank you. Up next, the surprising reason the nation's restaurants are struggling to keep items on the menu. Another big announcement today from Apple unveiling several new restaurants have suffered greatly during the pandemic, but now just as many find their footing again. They're facing a major new challenge. Stephanie Rule has that. Keep hearing these shortages are temporary. Is that the case?
Well, Lester, this lack of truck drivers, slower production, these are the very supply chain issues causing the shortages we've been talking about. The good news, we got new inflation numbers today, and while prices are still high, they're not going up as fast as they were, which is a hopeful sign of a return to normal.
We like hope. All right, Stephanie, thanks very much. Up next, tributes pouring in for comedian Norm Macdonald. A giant of comedy has died. Norm Macdonald, who was best known as anchor of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Here's Miguel Almaguer. And that's Nightly News for this Tuesday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.